Welcome back, addicts. We're here to talk about Sony's press conference for E3, and oh my gosh,
best conference.
Microsoft was in the running this year. They actually had a chance, and then Sony came in and just blew them away again. With games, which I would say, I don't know about you guys, but I would say that Microsoft had probably a better presentation in terms of how they were setting it up. But in terms of games, Sony just brought it in.
Blew them out of the water.
Yeah. So, man, they started it off pretty heavy, too, with The Last of Us Part 2.
Oh, yeah.
Which, man, I don't know. Just everything looked beautiful. Because they got it on the Uncharted 4 engine. They're getting those physics beefed up from the last time we've seen The Last of Us. The HUD and interface looks about the same as the last one, just a little updated. What did you guys think of that presentation? Gameplay doesn't.
I liked the gameplay. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty seamless in terms of transitionings, I should say. Between the different animations and how they fluidly went into the next one. There was one scene where Ellie is running, and she's picks up a bottle and throws it without even skipping a beat. And one of the things I really like is in the first one, it was kind of one of those things their hand reaches for an object. And the object just kind of disappears randomly. But in this one, whenever they pick up something, they actually pick it up and you can see them. It's just something to make it more realistic.
Yeah.
But as far as story wise, you worried at all at this point, or did this kind of help make it a little bit better?
No, I'm not worried at all. I trust Naughty Dog. They are a killer development studio. I have no worries about this. I trust them. They did a phenomenal job with the first game. I fully believe they can and will do a phenomenal job with the second. I'm excited to see Ellie's character grow. She looks scarier and more intense in this, because she's grown.
It's very true that what her friend said, they have to be afraid of you.
And I'm afraid of her. I am. It's going to be interesting to see what Ellie is capable of in this and how it all unfolds. And obviously, I really want to see Joel come back. I want to see him in the game.
That's the one. That's probably the biggest worry for me. It was they didn't show. I think even we don't know what expert where this excerpt was taken from the story. It was beginning, middle, end, whatever, or if it was flashback to if the dance scene was a flashback to the beginning part of the game, and then this is basically the start when she's running through. But I think not seeing even a hint of Joel or hearing him in the background or something like that, I don't know. It makes me a little bit worried that he's not going to be in it much. But I don't know. I'm going to get Naughty Dog out because they make amazing games. Well, the last one was near almost a masterpiece, so I'm hyped.
I would say The Last of Us. The first one was a masterpiece, if anything. So I put my hopes in Naughty Dog no matter what. I trust them. They've always been a great game studio no matter what they do.
Yeah, for sure. Michael, do you have any thoughts on?
Yeah, pretty much like you guys have been saying. If they do more of the same, then it'll be amazing. So they just got to keep plugging away, and I'm excited for the story. See where it goes.
Well, let's see here. The next big. It was basically all exclusives, mostly. We had a few, DLC launches for third-party games here and there.
But the Kingdom Hearts 3 again.
Yeah.
Every single conference had a Kingdom Hearts 3 thing.
But you're not complaining.
Nope. No.
So, the next game that they showed was Ghost of Tsushima, which I was really looking forward to seeing stuff for this, and my god, the stylistic art of, ancient Japan. Or I guess it's technically
Feudal Japan.
Yeah, Feudal Japan. So, yeah.
Incredible.
Sucker Punch is known for, their graphical capability. I think, obviously for gameplay, too, they do a really good job of making it feel like you're there in terms of, controls, making it really smooth.
Okay, now, here's just a question. Are we sure it's Japan?
That was the thing. That's why I kind of, stopped for a second, because I'm pretty sure it's Japan.
But my whole thing was they mentioned the Mongols.
Well, it's the Mongol invasion into feudal Japan.
Oh,
Pretty
I
sure.
forgot that. Okay, yeah.
They
Sorry.
did conquer like most of the known world.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Sorry, I forgot all about that.
But I'm curious. Well, it's glad you brought that up though, because I'm curious to see if it's going to be a historical take,
Yeah.
like really true to history, or if it's like they're using this backdrop, but it's still a fictional story, to where they're going to mess around a little bit on like how the Mongols end.
Yeah, which I'm fine with either.
Yeah, I'm fine with either. I'm just curious because they haven't really said a whole lot. So, but I mean, the game looks really cool. I'm interested to see how the combat works because I know some games, you know, they'll have it to where it's directional in terms of how you point, and then that's how you like parry and stuff. I hope it's not something like that because I don't really.
No, that's that gets, and the kind of, I mean, the game looks awesome. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
preface everything with what I'm saying with that, but the combat system in sword games, it can get somewhat repetitive, especially if you're coming like you have a certain number of executions and you just repeat that animation over and over again, or if it's directional blocking, like I believe For Honor was like that.
Yeah, For Honor was like that.
And that got like really tiring after a
And
while.
I remember the one that it probably annoyed me the most was Beyond Two Souls. That one has a lot of that in terms of like the combat, and it works fine if you know what you're doing. But like I'm terrible at those, and so that's part of the reason why I have a little bit. I think it's really easy to get them mixed up.
Yeah.
But I kind of trust Sucker Punch in that department because, like I said, like they always are really good for controls.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll know more when we get like a button layout.
And
and
the
stuff.
grappling hook.
Ooh,
Used-
that
used in the
grappling hook
video.
was badass.
Looks very cool. Sneaking into that building, that was really cool. That looks like a lot of fun.
Also, they had like the slow mo thing where they did executions.
Yeah.
Which it kind of reminded me a little bit of how Splinter Cell does the execution things, where you mark them and then you can execute them. So I'm curious to see if it works similar to that or if it's kind of different. But I mean, gosh, the settings though just look phenomenal.
Beautiful. Oh,
And I'm really curious to see, like you said, like with the grappling hook and everything, how well it works for like environmental like travel. Because like that's probably like Sucker Punch's main thing, like graphics, you know, smooth controls, and then fun traversal, you know. And so I'm curious to see how all of those go together. But that mud physics though,
Mud is gorgeous. Yeah.
Mud, just most gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, mud. I think they said like one of the like when they were doing an interview with the director, one of the directors said like if they could sum the game up in 3 words, it would be mud, steel, and blood.
That sounds perfect.
Yeah. So I mean, we got to see all that, and I'm like,
I can get down with that.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But that's really cool. Moving on, we get to see a new title that was released at the conference, and that is Remedy's new game, Control, which this one is... I'm super excited for this, because Remedy, as you know, they're the first Max Payne, like the first and second Max Payne game, and they're really known for that fast, fluid combat, like trying to keep you moving through their levels. And so this looks really interesting. It's got kind of a supernatural element.
Yeah.
So did you guys... Like, I mean, is this something that you're really
I
interested
loved it. I want to play it. I want to buy
This is my
300 of them and lay in bed with them covering my body.
That's intense.
Honestly, yeah, I would buy like 300 copies just to get, because like I support it that much. From just this. I mean, I'm wanting to see more before I make a final decision, obviously, but like, it blew me away that much.
Yeah,
in
I'd
terms
take
of,
a free one from you. And it, I think, no, seriously, it does look fantastic. I was excited, like you guys, you know. I really, really enjoyed watching her, like you mentioned a while ago, like the way she pulled parts from the environment to shield herself, like that looked really cool, and it just, the powers that you have look really interesting, and I want to know how she got them, and I'm curious about the story behind that.
Yeah, I think the story is going to be one of the main components, because it is kind of like, from what they've said, it's like a linear game. So that's obviously going to be one of the things that helps push it along. But I'm actually curious to see all the different powers you can get too, because it looks like they have more like a kind of like a telekinesis type, you know, where you can like pick up things or block things with just like your mind or whatever, you know, like spells or whatever. So that's gonna be curious to see. But I'm looking forward to it. Michael?
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree with what all you guys said. I really did like the Max Payne, the first 2 Max Payne games. So
Yeah.
keep an eye out for it, and I want to see like a little longer trailer and some more gameplay. But
Which I'm going to let you guys know if you do want to see more gameplay. They had an extended. This was kind of like it was filmed behind doors for just the press, but when they were doing interviews, they actually showed you a little bit of it. So it's like 4 or 5 minutes that they showed off. It looked really cool. I'm not going to lie. But we'll go more into the details of what we saw there in like our news roundup thing. But getting on to the next game, this was also another premiere one that we weren't expecting, or at least I wasn't. and I know you two are probably really excited for it, and that is Resident Evil 2 Remaster.
Oh yeah, I'm
Right?
psyched.
Which,
I've played every remaster they've released
Yep.
for the Resident Evil series so far. Obviously, most recently I beat Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. And I am extremely excited, with the direction that went. Much improved. And this remake looks beautiful. It looks so good. Because that's the one place Resident Evil 2 really holds up if you go back in atmosphere and gameplay. It's great. But the graphics, you gotta suffer through a little bit. But this looks gorgeous. So makes me super excited to go back and play it.
I'm hyped. I mean, I played the first two on like the older consoles that they were on because I was that kind of guy. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have some fun. Let's see how scared I can get. But man, after Resident Evil 7 and seeing where they went with that, I almost want to say this company can do no wrong with graphics and storytelling. But also with Resident Evil 6, kind of hard to give them the benefit of the doubt sometimes.
yeah, this game, especially like the remaster, it looks like it's definitely going to be, like they said, it's going to be a remaster, so it's going to have all the stuff from the old one, but it's going to add some new gameplay features, making it a little bit more updated, trying to make it seamless. I don't know if they actually had like an actual demo that they were showing people at the conference, but I do know, I think it was like a couple days ago, Rad Brad got like an early access demo of it, and like it looked really seamless, and then they added a bunch of... It's weird because it looks like the old one, but just like completely... I don't know. It's like scary how much it looks the same, but new at the same time.
It's very exciting.
So I'm looking forward to that. You guys are gonna have to let me know, and I'm gonna have to borrow.
We will.
So the next game, this is surprising too because we don't really see. Well, they made a trend of seeing like people like in Hollywood that we saw here because like back on I think it was the Square Enix conference they had Elijah Wood. So now we had another big face in terms of television, which was Justin Rowland from Squanch Games showing off his new game that's in VR and PS4, which is Trover Saves the Universe. And just the little they showed has his kind of style. I mean, were any of you guys like expecting that, or what did you think of it?
I wasn't expecting it, but I'm kind of happy I got it.
Yeah.
Like, I'll say, like, I'm not always expecting what that guy's going to do next. Justin Roiland's kind of all over the place. So, I mean, I'm hyped to see what happens. I'll play it.
Yeah. The thing that was, like, really exciting for me was that it's actually going to be playable on the PS4 without the VR. Because all of his other games that they've done so far has been all VR titles, which some of them looked actually fun that I wanted to play, but since they were on, VR, I was like, well, I don't want to play VR. So I was kind of, excited that he said that it was going to be playable on the console. And he said that there was even going to be some extra parts that weren't going to be included in VR if you played it on the console. So that's cool. But, still haven't said anything. Come on,
If you like Rick and Morty, if you like the games, you'll probably like this one. If you don't, you probably won't. It's for some people, it's amazing. For some people, they don't like the style of humor. So it is what it is.
So in depth.
I mean, it's a game based off. I mean, yeah. If you like Justin Rowland, if you like the stuff that he does, if you like the games, then you're gonna like it. So,
well said. So we're gonna get into a game that we didn't know anything about, really, but it still managed to captivate so many people's interests, and this is Death Stranding.
Yeah.
What was your first impressions of actually seeing gameplay?
I'm still confused.
I'm still completely lost.
Honestly, actually, at this point, I've been really excited to see it because obviously I love Kojima and Norman Reedus and
Don't think Kojima can do any wrong.
sure, but I'm saying I'm really excited for this, but having another trailer that doesn't explain anything does not add to my excitement. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
Because if I'm still lost, it's just more cool visuals. I'm at the point I really do want to know something.
Well, yeah, it's like one of those things where it's like, if it's so much like hanging on to the fact that it's all about being secret, like that's cool because I wouldn't want to get spoiled. But at the same time, yeah, you kind of have to have something so you know if this is the game for you. Because like from what we saw gameplay wise, I mean, we saw him grab out a gun, at the very end, but we didn't actually see any kind of other aspects besides just walking. And
Walking Simulator 2019.
yeah, that kind of worried me a little bit. You know, I mean, if the story's still great, I don't really mind. But like you said, we haven't gotten really any details with it. So I still liked seeing what they're doing with Guerrilla Games' engine, and I still want to see more. But that's why I would say it didn't rank too high on mine.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was a disappointment for anybody. I mean, obviously with Kojima, like, he doesn't normally give us much to go on, typically. I mean, you can tell from like just uploading pictures of Moss on like Twitter or something, like no context whatsoever. Like, you're not going to get a whole lot from him in terms of interviews. But I don't know. I'm anxious to see where it goes because of his promise of just innovation. So, but this next one we had, I don't think we saw any gameplay for this actually at all, but we just got a trailer for it, and that was Neo 2. Which I think this was actually surprising because everybody was thinking, because everybody was thinking we were gonna get Bloodborne, but then the people that developed Bloodborne came out with Sekiro. They announced that, and then we got Neo 2, which, I mean, I know you guys are like a big like Dark Souls, like Bloodborne fans. Like, is it something that you're glad that we got Sekiro, or like would you rather have taken like a Bloodborne 2 instead of like a Neo?
No, I'm perfectly happy with it. I really, really enjoyed Neo. I love the style of gameplay, obviously, being a Soulsborne fan. I loved the setting, all the demons, and the fighting. The action was super fun, very challenging. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see a second Neo. I wasn't expecting it, and I was very shocked. I was very excited. So yeah, that's definitely what I'm probably going to look at pre-ordering.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can pretty honestly say I exactly agree with what you said. I'm excited for it. I mean, granted, would I have liked a Bloodborne 2 or something like that? Yeah, but
Yes.
I'm not gonna complain. What we got, I think, is just fine.
Yeah.
I'm just shocked that you said you'd pre-order because I didn't think you liked Neo 1 that much.
I love Neo 1. I
Did you
love
finish
the
it?
first one.
Oh wait, yeah, you did finish it. You told me that. I'm sorry. I'm testing you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're getting on to our last game, which I thought they ended it on a killer. I mean, I'm representing because I thought it was the best shown, and that is Spider-Man PS4. And like, I don't know how hyped you guys are, but I know, like, as like a Spider-Man fan, since I've been young, I thought it was great what they showed. Showing the inclusion of more villains. We got basically the hint drop of like a Sinister Six happening. Like, we have the basically leader of the Sinister Six that's still going to be not really shown as of yet, but I'm kind of curious to see how long they're going to be able to hold that off, because they said that you wouldn't know who it is until the game releases. But at the same time, like, the statue that's supposed to be in the collector's edition, they're keeping that secret, and they said you wouldn't be able to see what the full statue is until like later. I think it was like July or like August. So I'm like, well, if that has something to do with like the leader, I'm like, I don't know why it wouldn't. I just to show you to tease it. But
from what I saw, like, I got this from IGN. I was just kind of bored on Snapchat. And, IGN has a Snapchat thing. They made, I think it was like 15 predictions, and the only two that I could really agree on that it possibly could be is either Green Goblin, and I think that's a possibility, or Mysterio, or whatever his name is.
I don't know, because like they're doing their own version of the Sinister Six. Like, basically, like the original members, like there's very few of them that are actually that we've seen in the game so far. So I'm curious if they're gonna do that. I feel like if it was Green Goblin, why would they not show it? Because
also evidence for that is that he kind of like, whenever he's like actually looking up at the new main villain, he's like, really? It was you? That kind of thing, which a lot of people are taking as this is someone that he knows and that he trusted. Which, I mean, that could mean that, or it could just mean like nothing really, but that's why I think it could be Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Mysterio, because Mysterio is good with technology and practical effects and all that kind of stuff. So,
well, I'm interested to know who would you like it to be.
Oh gosh, I don't know, because there's so many of the ones that I would like to be in the game, but I feel like they've already been really used a lot in the movies, and so I don't really know if I'd want to see one reused when we've already seen an adaptation of them somewhere else. I mean, personally, some of my top ones are like one of the more, I guess, obscure ones, or maybe not obscure, but maybe not like so much favorites. Like I really like Sandman. I really like the Lizard, Doc Ock. Which I don't know if
they were
those...
saying Doc Ock is also a possibility.
Yeah, which I'd be really cool if it was Doc Ock. I don't really know if that is gonna fit because with seeing a game where Spider-Man's already been around for a lot of years, they can have really much any direction they want. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like if they do Green Goblin, it would make sense. I would even be fine if it was like Hobgoblin. I like Mysterio a lot, but I don't think it fits in here. But obviously, I'm up for any of them because there's really not a bad Spider-Man villain. Yeah. The only one I don't want to see is probably Kraven. Because... nothing against that villain. I just find him like the least interesting.
I would agree with that. I would say there are some even like less interesting villains than that. Like one guy who like hijacks cars and uses them to fight Spider-Man or something like that.
Yeah, who knows? I wouldn't
really
put it past Insomniac to put some of the funnier villains in their game because they have that kind of sense of humor. We already have a lot of villains confirmed. Like, they said Taskmaster is going to be in there. We don't know if we're going to actually fight against him, but he's going to give, missions. We have Black Cat that's going to be in the DLC, the first DLC release. We have, obviously, Norman Osborn's going to be in there. We don't know if he's going to be Green Goblin in this or not, but there's always a possibility. We've had Fisk confirmed, obviously, because they showed him in the reveal trailer, if I remember right. We saw on the live demo for E3 that they have the Shocker. So, and we already have Electro, Rhino, Scorpion, Vulture, and Mr. Negative confirmed, as we saw from the this preference conference.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know who that was at first. I thought it was Mr. Negative, but I was like, why do I not know who this is?
Yeah, he's more of a newer villain in the comics. He's only been around. I'm not gonna say specific year numbers because I would probably be wrong, but I know he's more recent. So not a lot of people know about him. They also confirmed that there's going to be newer villains that Insomniac made up themselves.
Oh, cool.
So it maybe could be that. Maybe they're going to make their own character, their own villain made is going to be the leader of the Sinister Six. That would be intriguing. That'd be something I don't think a lot of people are going to be expecting if they do that. But it's always a possibility. Just being a super big fan, I can't really complain on any of them. They're already putting more villains in than I thought that they would, to be honest with you. Because I can't think of another Spider-Man game that's had at least maybe not in terms of numbers of villains, but in terms of being together. We maybe seen villains team up before in other games, but we've never seen a big group of them all attacking Spider-Man at the same time, which I thought was really cool. But every other part of this game is looking incredible, the traversal. The side missions, the city looks vibrant and a fun playground to just jump around in and swing. So, overall, I don't think I would be disappointed. Unless something just completely changes from 3 months from now. But
I'm
when you
very
feel
excited.
But any final thoughts on other ones that maybe I didn't touch or we kind of breezed over a little bit?
Not really. I'm just kind of hyped for all the games that you mentioned. There was some new gameplay and new world shown for the Kingdom Hearts stuff, but that's kind of stuff that people already expected in the game.
I think at this conference was when we first saw that they were going to do Pirates of the Caribbean, right?
Yep. That I'm kind of hyped for. Granted, they've done Pirates of the Caribbean in the past 2 games,
right.
so... Oh, but I'm cool with it.
They're just wanting to bring you all of the stuff you've seen before and more in 4K. Yeah. But
just come over here and play on your TV while you're not home.
Yeah, there you go. You have to bring over a Pro so you can fully capitalize on it. But
I'm not buying a Pro.
All right. Well, I'll probably buy a Pro if they have any special ones.
I think they have Kingdom Hearts special edition. I'm not even joking. I think they do.
I'm just saying, this is going to be a tough year for my wallet.
Yeah.
There's a lot coming out that I want to play. So
that's just the games in general. That's not including special editions or if there's a special console. And there's also more games that we haven't even seen at E3 that are either going to be coming soon after this year or later this year. A big thing Rockstar, Red Dead Redemption 2, they never showed their faces at E3, but we know it's coming later this year. Cyberpunk, we didn't get to see. Well, the public didn't get to see a whole lot of the gameplay. But that's going to be a heavy hitter for next year.
Did you hear about what they confirmed with that?
Yeah, we'll probably touch that in the news roundup video.
Because I want to laugh about that.
yeah, we'll actually probably go more in depth in like the news that we've found in our next video, and also like our personal picks for like best things shown at E3. But this will conclude the Sony conference coverage. So as always, keep up to date with everything else that we have, and we'll see you guys next time.